This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the LinkUp podcast with your host, Mr. King, Kana, and Woods here.
Yo.
Yes. So this is episode 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you know.
Not 31, but 32.
Yes.
Glad for the people that don't know how to count.
So I think, this week we're going to actually try to do it a little different than all the previous weeks where we end up talking about
a bunch of random shit.
Exactly. We're going to dive right into one of our topics today. And this was just a question. This ain't had nothing to do with the week and not necessarily time bound or connected to anything. This was just something that I was talking about because I saw it, thinking about then because I saw it come across my timeline. There was an article where people were saying, it was something along the lines of, women can now, U.S. courts rule that women can now walk around topless or something like that. And I was like, that sounds kind of ridiculous. It sounds kind of extreme. I doubt that that's actually the story and stuff. So I decided, let me look into the situation, see what exactly was being said. I saw some people talking about it and sharing it. Like,
that
okay,
was the whole thing about
breastfeeding
or some crap like that.
Exactly. That exactly what it ties to. It comes is all connected to the whole free the nipple stuff where it had this situation in Canada or whatever, or wherever.
I highly support this movement of female nipples.
I mean, it's just a fucking nipple, people.
I highly support this.
So it seemed like you already are a little familiar about, some of the concepts. Yeah. And that just wanted me to bring this question up. Do you feel that female breasts are sexual? I
mean, okay. Like, yes, they are.
Are they sexual objects, in your opinion?
I mean, yes, they are for certain people. And for certain people, they're not. But.
Yeah.
Look, for me, in my opinion, especially living here for a while and going to the beaches here during the summertime.
The beaches?
And I mean, they have beaches.
You mean the water and sand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kana.
Yeah. The water and sand.
We are Caribbean people here. Yeah. We know what a beach is.
That's water and sand meeting each other. That's not a beach.
Shit. No, but
sexual objects.
Yeah, they tend to take off the bras and walking around with the nipples and thing, and people it's cool. It ain't a big deal. So it just depends on where you are. Like, you ain't gonna walk around like the same thing with men. Like, you ain't gonna take off your shirt and walk into the city without your shirt on in the city. You could try, but you're gonna get a fine. You're not supposed to.
Oh, you can get a fine for that?
Yes, you can.
So what happened King's Day?
No rules are followed on King's Day.
No, King's Day. Come on, King's Day is an exception
all
to
of
the
the public
rule.
intoxication. There's a couple times in this country where rules don't make sense, and that's if I explain because they don't care about public intoxication. If there's a big significant football game going on, the chance that you just hear on the metros and things, the entire metro, all of these football, everybody who come from Central who going down to Arena and thing to watch the game.
Even worse, vice versa. Yeah,
you go Arena after a game and look at that place, dog. The mess that is be after, it has been ridiculous.
There's certain times they look like between the fingers.
Yeah, but you know what it is. Yes, I would say yes. They are I would consider breasts a sexual object, but even with that being said, it's still a society based something.
So okay.
So I think what I mean by that, I think that we've been taught to train. We've been
conditioned to
say we've been
sexual.
Yeah, exact. Thank you.
Okay, but do you feel is the same, for example, if a woman is topless and a man is topless? I know it may seem like a ridiculous question. We three guys in here. I just want to.
It should be.
Yeah, we can choose to have this conversation. We at least had a female in it.
To me, I just wanted to hear guys' perspective on it because I know I've seen different opinions and stuff by women how they feel. I know some people agree with the free the nipple movement and that concept and things it's not a sexual organ. I mean, there are natural is just for breastfeeding type of thing. I've seen some of those type of arguments are using that logic, and I get where they're coming from to some degree, but I'm like,
I find is a very is a touchy something because for
To me,
one,
to say that breasts are like I've seen some people trying to say that breasts are straight up not sexual. They're not sexual organs. They're just straight up. It's a natural thing. It's part of the, and I understand the logic of where they're coming from. Is like male nipples, female nipples. They both technically the same thing, basically, more or less.
does that one
Some
have
get-
milk, one don't?
Yeah, some use for
Technically.
breastfeeding and stuff like that. Others, and that's basically the only thing. The
I would
only other
argue-
difference.
I
They're
would
not
argue-
used. They're not. Their purpose is not sexual.
Yeah.
Their purpose is not sexual. You don't have sex using your nipples or breasts in any case. Like they're not. We've made them a part of the sexual act and stuff like that.
Yeah.
but they're not
I mean, tit job
used
is a
for.
thing.
What?
I was just going to say tit job is a thing. But
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but that, again, that was a man. Okay, everything is practically man.
we just
But-
decided that okay,
Yeah,
we're
we
going
was-
to use these things for
Yeah.
that purpose now. That's not
I'm
what
sure a
they
man
was
came up with that.
designed for.
I'm sure a man came up with that as well.
But the
Probably,
whole argument,
probably.
I think, like, yeah, like, if you look at it, like, even male breasts could be viewed as sexual just depending on what
Wait,
main... The chest region, you know?
He said male breast.
Yeah, you said male breast.
Nothing wrong with
So-
that technically.
No,
Like-
but when you mean male breast, do you talk about a fat guy that got tits, or like you legit talking just about the chest area of a man?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
Pectoral muscles.
Okay. All right, guy who works at gym.
Gotta show some knowledge every now and then.
what a grown-up conversation.
We talk so
No,
much
but-
nonsense all the time. Gotta show a little bit of intellect.
No, but for certain women, like if someone's stoned up in a certain way, yes, then the chest region from a man is going to be viewed as sexual. You
Like, I
know?
was seeing it in a slightly even different way because
There are a lot of different ways you could view
I mean, I'm
that
just looking
question.
at it as it happens sometimes that a female would suck on a man's nipple in a sexual thing the same way a woman would. Some dudes are into that. Like there is.
I mean,
It is
the
an
nipple,
erogenous,
yeah.
it is an erogenous zone. It is a zone that causes some kind of sensation
The nipple
if you
got a whole bunch of
stimulate it in some way.
tensions. I mean,
yeah,
tension,
nerve
nerves,
endings
yeah,
and stuff
nerve
like
endings
that.
and all kind of shit.
It
But then so
does-
does the anus, so I mean.
It is something that when stimulated, it causes certain arousals or pleasures or whatever and stuff like
Nipples
that.
get hard
both
for a
ways.
reason.
So I feel like you can make the argument that men, if you're trying to say that women's breast sexual, I feel like you can say that men's chest or men's nipples or whatever is just as sexual.
But I mean, they are to some women. Like women, some chicks like to see a guy with like Google. He go into the gym and
would they? I wonder how women would feel if men were to have to wear bras or something like that. If we had to cover our nipples and stuff like that, the way.
But you see, it's okay, wait. I continue there. I'm gonna check out.
It's not that new of a thing. Bras.
I mean,
like,
not that new of a thing.
I mean, it's new, but I mean, I said it in reverse.
No, I
meant
know.
that
Actually, no.
bras-
I corrected you incorrectly. You were right. They're not new.
No, I mean,
I took
they're-
that statement
no,
completely
no,
off. They're just,
I mean, no. What didn't bras come? Like, wasn't bras made like in the 70s, the 80s, something like that?
I have no idea. When
Right.
they was
Double check that,
invented.
please.
I have no idea.
yeah,
I personally
I-
feel like they was invented before that. I think these things could have been like in the 1800s and stuff. I mean, there's been bustiers and corsets and them kind of things whenever you seen like Renaissance style art and thing. And I mean, they may not be exactly a bra, but
According to this quick Wikipedia Google search, the bra was invented in 1889.
1800s.
And
Still
it
pretty
was,
late though. That's practically 1900s.
and it kind of was what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it because it does normally sound like an asshole on this podcast, so you don't want to sound a little factual this time. But it actually derived from the corset, from which came from France. So that's where
Stopping
they
women
get
from breeding and
yeah,
stuff.
them kind of things. But it was supposed to be like the whole two-piece ensemble. So like you have the corset and then like the underwear, and the bras just went from not killing the stomach to like just killing the chest. So, you know.
But I mean, yeah. But I'm assuming as well, like not every part of the world was wearing bras. You know, like it's something that.
it's probably
Cultural.
Yeah.
And then eventually, as certain cultures immigrated
to be quite
and moved
honest,
different
to be
places
quite
or
honest,
whatever.
it was invented in France. I was a European something, and there was more. I wouldn't say advanced, but it was more like
Cover up.
them type of ones. Whereas
Jesus said, wear clothes. Wear clothes. Cover up them nipples.
okay,
Don't show your pussy.
What?
I don't know where what's going. I don't know.
You eat the apple, you know.
The kind of way was going.
What was it? Is this whole Okay, wait. First, let me ask you this: what? Cause you didn't really get to finish the whole thing. Well, but the whole lot, it was a law or a bill or something like that, right?
What happened was there was the update that in the case was there was an injunction passed because it was. I don't even remember what exactly the legal case was about right now off the top of my mind and stuff. But to me, none of that was important. The main question they just wanted to know was like, what was the feeling towards breasts? Do you view it as a sexual object and stuff like that? How do you feel? How do you feel about the free nipple movement? Would you encourage a woman to not wear a bra or something like that or whatever?
You see, that whole thing is very dangerous. And I might sound like a misogynistic asshole by saying this, but it's the truth. It's going to increase the sexual assaults that happen because man has been known to not be able to control themselves. So if we already have been taught, as sad as this may sound, if we already been taught to view breasts as a sexual object, and men in general already go stupid when they see tits or even a little bit of cleavage. How the hell man will be going around just seeing like bare tits just out like that?
To respond to that, it reminds me of, I don't know if y'all have seen the clip, but there was a clip that was going around on social media of this chick that went to a festival. I have no idea what festival it was.
She was just walking around with.
She had some glittery stuff and stuff, and then some dude approached her, grab a boob, and then she went and hit him and was like, okay, that was
you
it.
See, and you see that's the dangerous part. Okay, cool. Obviously, if women start we're not wearing bras, they're gonna have more attention to them. Yes, all right, cool. You know that's supposed to be all fine. If you want to not wear a bra, you have to know that people are going to look at you. But the problem is the assholes out there that make who make the fellas who just look like assholes as well, because they're gonna go and want to touch it, want to grab and do all kind of things, which is going to cause a natural, logical reaction from the chick. And depending on whether the chick is by herself or her man or with a friend or her brother, that can cause an altercation.
I feel like if we normalize it, it's the same thing with weed, right?
Yeah, but you see that, but that's the problem. It's not normalized. It's going too much shit have to happen.
Yeah, but I mean,
before that going to get normalized.
But those shit that need to happen. Like it's the same thing with it's the same thing with like
the internet.
It's the same thing with drug use and all that. So every time you try to like conceal or stop something from happening, like if you think about it at the mind stage, there's rotten apples and they're gonna do bad stuff. So we have to just not do it.
So would you say heroin should be sold in a shop like weed, for example?
Well,
I understand the logical way you're going and stuff.
So
because to me it sounds like you're going the logic of like with marijuana and different things like that. Like if people going to get it regardless, you can actually legalize it, control it, make it safer and different things like that.
This is something completely different though. Yeah, this is something completely. First of all, you're not consuming nothing.
No, it's the same. It's the same logic with what's happening in Saudi Arabia, stuff like that. So their whole argument is we have to cover up every part of the woman, because if we just saw the woman's face, the man them go rowdy and thing. So it's the same argument.
All blame on men and stuff like that. Is place all responsibility on the woman and stuff like that, not the person who's actually perpetrating the crimes and things. That's the issue. That's the problem with that logic, because when you have people in Muslim cultures who, like you said, covered from head to toe and stuff, and they're still being raped and this type of thing, and some of the laws over there crazy and stuff, just with how women is handled in certain Middle Eastern countries, and that's another thing. But I ain't bring up another point.
that's
even the name Middle Eastern though.
I don't know, but what I said is true. But then I feel like it would have to be like, if you want to have that whole like breast being normalized, something like, it legit got to be an attack on both fronts. Like it got to be not only normalizing breasts, but also educating younger and men in general to legit look and don't touch, because that's a problem.
I feel at least when you talk about the European countries that are more feminized. So when you talk about like France, even the Netherlands, like certain parts of Europe are way more like ahead when it comes to this discussion. Some people, it's just a boob. Like, cause again, I have to when I went to the sand and the water that meet one another in the Netherlands.
I'm glad they categorize it right.
Women just walk around with the topless and thing. And for me, I was caught off guard because like me growing up in the Caribbean, that's not something you would see. And it wasn't even.
Y'all got nude beaches in Aruba?
No, I mean, you see women like tanning topless, but not that they're just walking topless from one end to the other end.
That's
and just
their
walking.
beach attire, basically.
Yeah.
Right? That's just how they're
they're just like
themselves
that
on the beach.
I mean,
It happens now and I've
me,
seen it on
if
Mullet
you
Bay
could tan,
a few times.
Yeah, the stripper.
No and then you see it on Mullet Bay now and then. But it's not to say it's the norm. Like every chick is
every
out
Sunday
there
12
like
o'clock the strippers was out there.
But what I'm trying
I'm a wholesome young man. Continue your words.
What I'm just trying to say is that you're there and nobody was like, yo, look at that, look. You know, it was just, okay, you're there, we there, cool. There was
but
no.
I find even in the normalized countries, like you say in Europe and stuff like that, there's still a abundance of attention to a chick that's topless.
But that's that's a stigma that look, these stuff needs to happen. It needs to normalize for people to be not put that much attention towards it. You know, like when something is like gated and then it just comes out, people are like, yo, look at that titty. You know, because you never, you know.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
That's a fool, little.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Because to me, I'm gonna ignore that dude because
It's not about to say, yo, look at that titty. All right,
to me, it's kind of like this whole internet thing, the social media generation, the social media era that we in now, where it's like, okay, there's all this access. You could just talk to whoever you want, or DM this person, or make a tweet or whatever, and your message is heard and stuff. This amount of access, this, like, the madness that you're seeing online to me is kind of part of how we don't know how to deal with this. It's new still.
Yeah.
I mean, now we kind of getting into the space where it's commercial. We starting to understand it a little more, and there's becoming norms and rules and kind of just unwritten rules that you just get from like how to use the internet and
What's
things.
an unwritten rule of social media?
I feel like emoji language and different things like that. The way when you see the peach emoji, you know that's an ass, for example.
Okay.
Like those type of things, it's been going on for some time. We just kind of get that this is how it is a little bit. But I feel like the anonymity, that's where you get all the terrible shit that you see online, dog. It's new. People don't know how to work with it, and there needs to be some chaos before there's like order. That's what
there needs to be some legislation because the internet is still new. It's like when the music industry came into when the film industry came. Like
it's gonna be chaos for a while until they figure it out. And I feel like that's kind of what you trying to say with the. If women just start walking around topless and thinking there's a new law pass or whatever, it don't make no.
But then, is it worth all the like potential sexual assault?
I mean, sexual assault already happening, dog. And
but I don't believe. Yeah, but that's a big catalyst now.
Yeah, I know, but I don't.
It has a hell of a catalyst.
I don't believe that men are that fickle that just
really
look. Like,
really?
A wife. Let's look at this analogy, right? Someone that's going to this is a really fucked up analogy, but anyway. So a man that beats his wife is gonna beat his wife regardless, right? If you have signs saying don't beat your wife,
then why make guns illegal? Because that has been number one thing in the gun debate is like, well, if you make ban guns and stuff, people still get shot.
No, but I mean,
like killing is illegal, but people still die and stuff. So why make guns illegal? They ain't gonna change none.
The difference with that is you make it harder for the man. That,
I understand the logic, but I mean that's just a type of.
No, but the difference. What I'm trying to say is that don't look at that one person and then apply that same rule for everybody. You know what I mean? So someone that's going to do those stuff is going to do it regardless.
Question. Do you feel that it's a minority of people that would be out there that would just be the dude and have videos that would grab the boob and stuff like that?
I mean, would we do that?
Who's going to admit to crimes? Who is going to admit to a crime and record
I
it?
would.
Okay, speaking for me, look, I cannot imagine that if we're 80, like if the 100% of men were, let's say, in a room together, and one girl came naked or just with her boobs or whatever, that
That's a hell of a pick.
60%, that 60% of all males would just attack.
I think that's
believe
a
that.
terrifying situation
Yeah.
for any.
That was that.
No, I'm just
Yo, you in a room with 100% of men.
no, but what I mean is
Nah,
like we need to stop putting like men like. We need to stop putting men in that category of we animals and we can't control
Men
our urges.
Men need to stop acting like animals and control their urges.
Oh, yeah,
Are you saying the same thing?
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. What you just said is just repeating.
No,
what I
you
just
say
said.
you can't put. Okay, according to my understanding, you say you can't put men into those kind of categories.
No, you can't just blatantly say that.
He trying to say it's a terrible stereotype, and you trying to
Yeah.
say they need to stop living the stereotype.
Yeah, exactly. It is a terrible
But
stereotype.
the point that y'all trying to get
It's
to
the same thing.
is the same thing.
Men need to
In my
stop
book.
being fucking assholes.
But yes, but it's the same thing with like the topic that I was gonna bring up, that quote unquote Caribbean / black people need to stop fighting after parties. So all of them, it's a small minority.
Is it though?
It is, because it's always the same people fighting.
Okay, yeah. If you put it up,
It's always the same people fighting. So using that
I got
analogy,
start banning these people then. 'Cause-
but are you using the same analogy? I hope it's always the same type of people doing the same type of fuckery things with women, dog.
Yeah, but you see
It's
that.
not- it's not
but
a
you
group
see,
mentality
but you see,
thing.
but you see, that's the thing. When I say sexual assault, that could be like a whole, like, it's a broad spectrum. It could be anything from like either complimented or dissing the tit. It could be to like actually physically assaulting the tit. You know, is a bunch of unnecessary things that would
But
bring to the tit.
that would happen regardless. No, if
No,
someone,
it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen if they had the bra on.
I mean, women
I
get
don't
feel
know,
up
like-
with
Yes.
bras, with anything.
Yes, but
dog.
Woods, come on, man.
My main counterpoint to your thing would be like, in my experiences, I feel as though the majority of women that I've talked who have been sexually assaulted they've had some serious things. I mean, from when we're talking about the Me Too stuff like that, the amount of women that when you get to know somebody close enough and they start telling you some stuff, and it's like the amount of times I've talked to a female and then we get to know each other at a certain point and thing, and then I find out that you had this and that type of encounter and things like. It can't be that much of a minority of dudes out there doing this stuff if it happening to so many women. Man.
Yeah, look, again,
Because to me, I feel as though it's at least 70% of the women,
Oh, I was on-
maybe 75%
I
of
was
the women
on
that I
giving-
know has had some kind of encounter and
yeah,
things like
but
who
look,
is doing these
yeah,
things.
but again, like if a woman goes out, whatever, you're going to come into contact with perverts. It's a fact.
I mean, most
Look,
chicks could tell you by the time they went to the club how much
Yeah,
time
but
what
I mean,
happens
not-
at the club.
not
They just
like if
they
it
don't
happens
even
in the
trip.
club.
They don't even trip about it no more because they know that if I'm going to
Imagine,
the club,
that's
But
beside
going,
you.
but going,
That-
going to the club, right? Like, look, for
That
example, you
behavior
go
is
to the club.
normalized. Imagine that.
Every man in the club does it. Every single man in the club does it.
I don't know if everyone.
I can't say that, okay, in the club 100% or 80 or 90 or 70 or 60% of the man that's in the club be feeling every girl in there. No?
May not
No,
be that moment, but may have,
I've
may have done it
I've
at
seen
times.
50, 60, 65% of the club try to holler at one chick though.
Going to, look, we have to establish something right now. So if you find a girl attractive, right, and there's a lot of ways you can approach someone. So if you approach someone, you say, "Hey, we doing? You're a nice girl. You want to have a drink?" That's a conversation.
Yeah, but as a whole,
But if you go in there and look, there's a difference. There's a difference. You have to, like, assaulting someone and just trying to have a conversation is not an assault. It could be
I
viewed.
don't think nobody was trying to say
No.
that.
But what's also something that tends to happen a lot is sometimes when which I understand. Sometimes maybe one girl's in the club and you got 10, 15 guys walking to a girl, wanting to talk to her. At a certain point, it gets annoying. But how can the let's say after 5, the other 10 guys know that, yo, this girl really doesn't want to be talking with anybody?
No, because they got at least out of those other how would you say 5 after the first 5.
Yeah.
At least 6 out of the 10 of those other assholes gonna try again still, regardless of how many man she curve.
Yeah. But
so imagine if she was out there without a bra now. You don't think those chances? Okay, let me rephrase this now.
yeah, but
I'm making it sound like a
going to
door.
a club. Bro, look, we have to.
Hey, nobody said it was a smart idea.
But
if we giving them these, if they want these freedoms, my whole thing is you have to accept that these are the consequences that are coming for it.
Ain't no dudes in the club topless.
Yeah,
neither.
that's what I'm like.
Well,
what are these situations that these girls go
like
meet?
but
What? Yeah, but
I mean, we've been to some soccer parties.
that's what I'm saying. except for Sly Guy, but who does end up shut us at any party somehow? I don't know why, but
like,
it's true.
these situations usually would be like if you're at a beach. Oh, you want to go topless? Fine. There's no problem with that.
But no, these situations for like in public, like you, like
if you're pregnant and you need to breastfeed your child and you need to go topless, or you need to take out the boob and feed your child, fine.
Yeah, but they're not pregnant. They just got a child.
If you're walking around with a shirt without a bra, your nipples pointing out, fine. That's something that happening already.
That's true.
Like what I'm really trying to get at is like, what is the bras? Why do women need to wear bras for? What like if the nipple showing, is that really a big deal?
No, it's in general it's not, but in society it is.
Then it depends on the society.
No, but it's like
them.
it's like you were saying earlier. It legit depends where it is, because whereas you see a tit in America, it's like, oh shit, a tit, but you see a tit here, it's like, hey, tit. Like you might tell a friend about, hey, it's just a tit, and then you go about your day.
We got a little off track because it's not so much about the bra. It's about toplessness. It's about breastfeeding and all of those. That, like we said with the breastfeeding example, that was the main thing with the lawsuit in the court, and where the whole free nipple thing started. This woman wanted to breastfeed or whatever in some situation, and they felt it was offensive or whatever that you out in public with your bra, with your nipple out.
Maybe a restaurant isn't the best place to feed your child. Maybe with other people.
So you feel like breastfeeding should be relegated to certain places. Like if my child need to eat. Because that's what is happening. This woman is feeding her child.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you gotta go outside to feed the child or something.
I was thinking of that just now, but then that would be
breastfeeding ain't like smoking the cigarettes, you're affecting other people's surroundings.
Like, but you know it is.
Like we making us that we're human, and there's certain parts of us that are legitimately human.
No, but you know it is. Everything now is so PC, Jared. It's because it's like, yeah. This one, if I find this offensive, then it's a problem, and then if you find this offensive, then like I can't be doing this and that because it's offensive to because you don't know what's gonna offend somebody.
If it's not affecting you in any type of way, then just grow a pair of balls. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting this one topic to last heading into the break and stuff, so I think it's about that time to pause, restart the videos and stuff like that, so we can get the next segment going and continue this topic. I'll touch on something else. I feel like
let me just say
this kind of long.
People that are too PC, grow a pair of balls. If it ain't affecting you personally in your life,
but a lot of people sensitive these days. But
if it ain't affecting you in any type of way, grow a pair of balls.
And we'll be back.
We'll end on that. That's a sexist comment. So because women don't have balls, so you say women can't be popular.
Some women do though.
And I'm going to press stop now. And we're back with the LinkUp podcast. You know us, who we are.
So we was previously talking about the whole free the nipple movement, and eventually I think somebody had said something about the Me Too movement. Yeah, so speaking of the Me Too movement, right?
Mm-hmm. Me Too.
I don't know if I had heard this whole thing with Russell Simmons.
Oh God.
Supposedly, well, I mean, okay, I think we talked about this before, or I'm not sure. Maybe it was planning on talking about it, but it didn't really happen. But either way, they have allegations outside Russell Simmons that he sexually assaulted some people and whole kind of thing. He stepped down from different CEO positions, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Supposedly now, according to TMZ, they have this one report that
TMZ.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is true or not, but when I heard it, is a little tense, but it's a little funny at the same time. So it's kind of a question, it leading up to a question. So it seems like Russell Simmons reportedly had some girl up in a hotel room, and the young lady had a son. So according to the woman, Mr. Simmons was like, either I'm going to fuck you or fuck your son. You choose. That's a tense ultimatum, Jen. So like, you either get raped or you leave somebody fuck your child. Like, what you would do? Like, what? That's my question now.
I already know what I would do.
If somebody has to come with that with an ultimatum, what I would do?
I would beat his gun.
But and it's somebody like
I don't give a fuck at that point. Like, you gonna tell me, look, either I get fucked or you gonna rape my kid?
Yo, that's rough,
But
man.
Kana, you gotta say, okay, be specific with this when you're asking it to us.
Okay, yeah, I use fair.
But
But
hit a man for the
first time.
even
I never hit someone. For the first time.
Okay.
So you gotta,
Okay,
if
so-
you're trying to put this on.
So let me make it a little bit more controlling then, because it seemed like the situation, the girl couldn't do anything about it because Russell is a guy, he's
It's a
physically
different
stronger
situation.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay, cool. So a big buff dude now, somebody like Terry Crews. We man here, we ain't that big. We ain't that big. So somebody like Terry Crews or God bless the dead Kimbo, gotta come up and be like, yeah, yo, either I fucking you.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you fucking your son.
The fuck off now.
Why don't have a gun?
No, he's a liberal.
Listen,
You know that
in that situation, I have rocks. I find in some. I feel like that's the that.
you can't. You
That's
can't
not a
choose.
choice, though.
There's no choice. It's like either you
But
kill
okay,
me or you kill my child.
but what do you do in that situation then? You go down swinging because
need
if
to know how.
because if
how
he
did
knock you out, you still get it.
corner me to
But-
face
but
me with this
no,
ultimatum.
You know,
Where am I?
this
I
ultimatum,
run away,
this
like,
you see?
ultimatum is so extreme.
But you see, I would put it in a jail. You see, I would put it in a jail setting, but then. There was no reason for him to threaten your son as well, because there's no reason.
How we get my
So
son in jail?
exactly.
I
So
left my son in there with me.
and
Y'all went to rob a bank together.
yeah, and that's a whole different. To me, that's
Then
a
you have
different.
a lot of problems.
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of problems that you need to work
That's
out.
a different scenario, I find. Like, that brings different aspects in it. But is this what I mean? Like, son, I mean, like, this is like your 9-year-old.
It's a difficult scenario to sketch and paint to get
Yeah,
a guy's
this-
perspective of how they would react in the situation.
Because as a woman, I don't like.
This reminds
I
me of something
can't-
I would just watch it.
I can't imagine. Okay, I mean, obviously I can't imagine as a woman, but just
Yeah.
being faced in that
using
that.
empathy. You can't.
If it's, okay, again, all this is all if this
Hypotheticals.
whole this is all hypothetical if it's true, but like
Okay.
I don't have an answer. Like, I asking all you because I don't have an answer to it. I don't know.
like,
But I really
I
want to
mean,
say true.
putting myself in a woman's shoes, I would take the L.
I think any reasonable parent or any
Yeah.
like teen parent would do that as well.
Be like, you not have my child, dog? No. If there is no if I have to choose in this situation, if there is no get the gun, if that's not if that's not included, then yes,
Bye.
I'm taking the L for my child.
So there was one response. Somebody was like, yeah, you know, I'm pretending like I'm gonna suck the dick and then just like bite it.
off.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines, but
But you know
it's difficult because you never know how the person will react.
Yeah. And
Like,
this,
you could do that, and then let's say the person doesn't go down. What next?
Oh, you don't bite hard enough. You just got a mouth full of dick and he can beat you after.
And then fist coming at your head, your neck break or something. He kill you because like
Especially
you
if
don't
it's
know what
Kimbo.
is gonna
but
happen.
then if he kill you, you can't feel when you're getting raped.
Wow.
Kana, that was dark.
Wow.
Like, we were here. It was already pretty dark where we were and then you
I
brought
don't think
it like to
that.
the
I don't think
pits.
that's an upside, kind of. I
You're not. I just say.
How about they avoid the rape altogether? Like,
Sometimes
I think that would be the ideal situation.
It would be the ideal one, but I mean, again, I just find it was a little bit tense because it was where I'd hear it was kind of putting the scenario on other people.
But I you know, at a certain point, not at a certain point, this is coming from TMZ, so
yeah, I don't think it's real either, but
because this
I just find out it's
like,
really
this
extreme.
ultimatum is like so extreme.
Like, do you see somebody like Russell Simmons?
saying that?
Exactly.
But again, I could have said the same for
Harvey?
no.
I ain't
what
putting.
is
Listen,
black
I ain't
man
putting my
saying?
head on the block for nobody.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. But
I don't know none of
Yeah.
these people. I just all I know is
Mr.
the image that they
Mr.
put out there
Mr.
into the world
Pops.
and stuff like that. I don't know none of these people.
I don't
ain't
know.
putting nothing past nobody.
Yeah.
Because we had Mr. Pudding Pops doing the same thing.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. So
That's another rough one.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Although by
all
that,
40 allegedly.
that's a lot. That's a lot of alleges.
That's a lot of alleges. But again, you never know.
That's a lot
This
of
man
alleges.
wanted to buy CBS at the time, and then all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's
came
a
up.
whole
So that's all.
conspiracy.
So there's a lot of.
That's
There's a
not
lot of.
true. But let me say it's not
Wasn't
true. Him buying CBS or him wanting to do that them things was like many years ago. The talks about him doing it, people was trying to throw that up and be like, okay, this is the reason they're trying to take another black man down. But it's like, I'm not trying to say that they wasn't trying to take a black man down, because
Yeah. I'm just.
As a whole,
I just gave a
difference.
perspective from both sides,
That's a
just
whole-
because I don't know the truth. So
you
I
never
have
know
to-
what these people do.
That's a whole different.
So I just
subject.
gave him both sides so that people come to their conclusion.
To me, I feel like that Cosby situation, the amount is a little crazy in my opinion.
40.
I feel
plus.
like
Jesus.
I know certain things are definitely possible if people have habits and patterns and ways of behaving and stuff like that. I feel that to be more, but I feel like the amount is a little ridiculous.
I
And
think
the stories are too similar. No?
And there was also a lot of other discrepancies and stuff that wasn't adding up. When it's like, okay, but your story changed, and when they interview this one, then she go on this other show, and then all of a sudden there's these other details and these other, like there was a couple of the females who was making rounds and thing, and some of them stories wasn't adding up and thing, and other people was also looking into the main attorney. I think her name was Gloria Allred, who it was that got all the women together who was going into go at Bill Cosby and looking and they were saying that this is a woman who's been involved with other kind of cases and has some kind of questionable tactics she has been involved in other high profile lawsuits dealing with celebrities and stuff like that, and people were saying she got some sketchy tactics and stuff like that, so they didn't know if like maybe she just went in. Kind of like rape cases is always a difficult situation, and there's never like this is practically one of the only ways. If it's like, okay, you have to look at this, you have to investigate this, because it's all of these women. Like one of the main things to get people to pay attention is to try to see if, okay, were there other victims and stuff like that. If
to make it more than one, make
make it a class action type of thing. If it's like one person in the apartment complex or whatever, you got terrible service and stuff, is like chances are there's probably some other people in the building who got terrible service, and then we could make a complaint and shit like that. So but I don't know, we getting off topic.
But
as we usually do.
I mean,
Well,
it was still
what
surrounding
kind
on
of
the topic.
was.
Yeah.
But okay, speaking since we're going on topic anyway, this is not something I was just curious in. What do you feel about male contraceptives?
Be like,
Condoms.
condoms.
No, but like
I know that's not what you mean.
apart from that is a male contraceptive
condom
as
is a
well.
male
Okay,
So you mean like,
smart ass. That's a good one. You catch
like
me
a
there.
pill that
Yeah, like
suppresses your.
no, just like what, like how you feel about it. Like you would take them?
I don't take pills in general, so I would not. But
You don't
I
take
mean-
pills either?
Nope.
Even when I'm sick, I tend to sick it out then take medicine. It's only when it's like extremely that I need the medicine then I take it. But if
But
if
like
there's an
vitamins,
option,
you don't take like vitamins and them kind
no, I
of ones.
eat fruits
That's
and
why-
stuff. The
that's
only
what-
vitamins that I eat is B12 because I can't get that with.
But that's still a pill.
That's but I mean, but it's something that I like what I just said. I need to take it. Like
But-
there's no other alternative. I
but
can't
When
like.
I was
You
younger,
still-
I
you
would
still take
crush.
pills, though.
I would crush
You still-
Advils up in water and drink them. Like
But it's bacteria, no. It's a pill with that. B12 is a bacteria.
But you
That's-
still taking it though.
Yeah, but Sean, what I'm trying to say is, if how I started the whole thing was, if I am forced to, then yes. But if there's an alternative, like if I'm sick or if I headache, if there's an option for me to like just once you go sleep and hopefully when you wake up the headache is gone, I would take that option. I never take a pill because I have pain in my leg or something. I have pain in my leg.
My question on this thing would be like, how does the contraceptive work? Is it like, okay, so I take the pill
had-
and now like I don't have any cum anymore?
They had
like,
two. They had two ones
like,
that I find was
or it
interesting.
just
They
kills
had
the
one.
semen production and it's still able to ejaculate, and
They had one that
just don't have no
was a
cells
pill.
in it.
There's a pill that it dilutes the sperm for a certain amount of time or some crap like that. And there's a next one where they want to put like some kind of device.
Or you could flip it on.
Yeah,
and then
like
the
inside,
canal-
either inside your testicle or something like that, and it thinks you could stop
don't
stop
need to
the
hear no
flow.
more. I don't need
You
to
could
hear no
stop
more.
the flow.
I heard that one and I
I
was
heard
like,
enough.
nah.
Yo, that's
I heard enough. No.
why not? So why women have to go through all the trouble?
Women don't have to go through all the
pill?
trouble.
Like the
They
pill.
could just
pill-
use a condom for women, which also exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but okay, really. Okay, first of all, let's talk about
I use
frequency.
condoms all the time.
Random
Yeah, but
question.
when last have you seen a female condom?
Have you ever used a dental dam in your life? Have you ever seen a dental dam?
Seen?
In your life?
Yes. Used? No.
I've used one just for the fuck of it.
Really?
Just for the
How
fuck
was
of it.
that?
How was it? Because I ain't never seen nor used one of them things
You never
in my
seen?
life.
You never
You
had
know,
sex ed when
okay,
they bring
okay,
in like how
okay,
to
let me-
use the
That was
rubber
probably
and
the
how
only time, and then maybe it was in the packet, so I didn't even see what it actually
they didn't
looked like. I
like
don't
open
know.
it for you. That rough.
Let me set.
I saw the
let me-
female condom during sex ed,
let me-
and that was the only time I ever saw a female condom again. I didn't know if stores sell them things.
Let me set the scene, right? So, you know, when you're young and you're experimenting, and it just came out to the point that
I know. I wasn't really that experimental.
no experimenting with your girlfriend. That okay. Anyway, you do you, boo boo. So we were looking at like different like toys and whatnots, and it came up. Hey, yeah, that's like a female condom. Like we never use that. Let's see what that's all about. And they're like different ones. Like there's like one that has like this hot sensation. Different with same thing with like with the male ones, and it ain't bad.
I heard people say it's like fucking a plastic sack.
I would compare it to like if I've never used it, but I'm assuming you would be able to compare it to like a flashlight or some fuck like that.
But then the flashlight is supposed to like simulate. Anyway, but but
I never used one of those neither.
me neither. But it seemed like a cool invention though. Like
I don't know. I feel like I feel like them things weird.
What, a
feel like,
flashlight?
yeah, like
But ain't no different than like a
It's like a
dildo.
dildo. It's like the
Yeah.
same thing.
I understand that, and I don't know if I'm not necessarily opposed to trying it or whatever. But for me, it's like
Why am I already use
it
my hand? Why
weird.
not? I know it's just
Yeah,
you just
but-
not used to it. Like that's the thing.
My whole thing is the cleaning. That fuck must be nasty.
Like
dog.
my whole thing is why
You
am
clean
I
your hands afterwards, right?
Yeah, but still.
You need your hands. And stuff. Your hands are attached with you. They go with you places. And
How much
And I'm
time?
directly putting my hand there, like, yeah, I'll catch it. Like, and I'm trying to catch that shit now.
Like you ever use a sock before?
Yeah, but it's not my hand now.
What I'm trying to say is you still clean your sock, right? I mean, how much time does it really take to just clean that fucking thing after you're done with it? Though? Some soap, some water, rubby done.
I say rubby.
rubby dog. Wow. That was unique, couldn't it? I can't even lie.
No, but I don't. So, but then there shouldn't be much of a difference between the dam and the condom because either, like if you're saying it's like fucking like a trash garbage
Yeah,
bag,
but
that
there's
means,
a female condom and there's a dental dam. A dental
Okay,
dam
yeah,
is
that's
what
true,
you
yeah,
use
yeah.
for oral sex on a female. Like that's
You're right.
what that is. A female condom. That's fucking a plastic sack, supposedly.
But even so, I sorry, right? This might sound really like odd, but to me, it was a point of like a even like putting on a condom to have oral sex, unless you're going with like a
I
stripper
mean, if
or
you
them
don't
kind
want to have herpes on your dick,
but then that kind of makes no. Okay, to me, it makes no sense.
no, like
I've
to
experienced
me.
it and it's significantly less feeling.
Yeah, might as well just have sex then. No comment, no man. That's that. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, but then it's at least get the moisture on and then you can enter. I mean,
But it's lubricated.
nah. I feel like it like depending on the
The
situation.
condom is lubricated.
Yeah, but
Why
depending on
you
the
need to?
situation and the insufficient lubrication to like.
You realize
If you ain't trying to damage nobody,
but how? if I'm okay, my chemistry ain't up to par, right? But according to me, what I know, the more saliva she put on it, the drier like it going to actually get after a while. So she actually reversing the process of actually duplicating it.
That. They ain't ever worked that way for me.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. To me, it just never made sense.
I mean, if you really,
but that's just
love,
me.
like, some people really love just the whole situation of like looking at someone doing fellatio.
Okay, that's what we call it.
I mean,
That's
it sounded nice.
name. Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I know that was terminology using it. Okay.
But I mean, like, it just depends on what your sexual preference is. Like, if you really love getting a blowjob, then hey, and you want to protect your dick, I would advise using a condom, especially if it's someone that you don't trust. Especially if it's your girlfriend and you trust each other and y'all know that both y'all clean, cool. But if it's someone you don't know, like, you're still risking it for the biscuit.
No, don't risk it.
But that's but that's what I mean. Like, if you don't use a condom to get a blowjob, then you're risking something, and it's your biscuit.
Right. I don't know. To me, it's either like you're doing it, period, or you're not doing it. But I guess you could think of sex and everything else the same way. So, I mean, that is just me personally.
In other news,
yes. Since we are talking about some freaky stuff, I wanted to go back to some from last week slightly. Speaking and not being the Freaky Friday video. It was last week we touched on it or the week before? I remember I talked about it.
I think it was the week before. Because
but
last week it was a very serious video.
But whenever it was, I didn't see it at the time, so I couldn't give no feedback and things. But then I did see it finally. And so nobody gonna mention like Kendall Jenner singing now or Kylie or whichever one of them it was that was at the end of the video.
Kendall, yeah.
Like
I saw it too.
Do you not see this? Like when I saw that, my heart almost stopped because like to me this is a tragedy, dog.
How?
You know this means that more Kendall Jenner music is coming in the future. Do you want Kendall Jenner music? Like, that's how I see this.
I don't want Taylor Swift either, but shit, she's number one on a lot of crap. So you choose what you listen to, dog.
I understand.
I could mute that shit out.
I feel like you can limit Taylor Swift easier than you can block out the Kardashians.
No, I haven't heard shit about them or like seen anything about them in weeks. And none of the content I take.
In weeks. That must be because the season of the new show is ended.
No, that's because I personally haven't gone and
it's a joke.
Listen, I don't go looking for these people. But to me, you can't get away from the Kardashians, dog. They're everywhere. You can't escape them. No. Cause you watched the Freaky Friday too, and you saw you hit with them right there.
With 2 seconds?
Don't matter. It was 2 seconds too much, in my opinion.
I even forget she was in it.
I don't want these people in hip hop or like making music.
That's how normalized it be.
No,
you just saw it. It was like, okay, cool.
No, that's to show you how much I didn't give a shit. Like, it was Kendall Jenner cool. Like, she's one of the normal ones of the Kardashians.
Okay.
I find so, at least.
I have no comment on that.
And
that's your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that ain't really saying much either. So,
I respect your opinion.
So who's worse in hip hop? Kendall Jenner or Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Kendall Jenner.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Nah.
Why? Go.
Hey, I like the segue though.
At least,
I like the segue.
That's a good segue.
I like the segue.
That's a 10 plus. We ain't keeping score, but he winning right now.
This is what I do. Tekashi 6ix9ine or Kendall Jenner.
Jesus Christ. Look, this man, like, you could take all of that. You could say he's stupid. You could say whatever. But you can't take away the fact that this man still, he's dedicating his life into this, and if you agree or disagree, he represents a certain part of the U.S. in particular that can relate to him and listen to his music and fucks with him and knows like, yo, this dude is my dude. And he, regardless of what he's doing, he is representing the culture, a certain part of the culture that maybe a lot of people don't want to put in the forefront anymore. But he still does represent that culture. Gang lifestyle,
Kana,
whatever.
see you rolling your eyes. What you got to add to this?
I'll leave him finish.
Whereas Kendall Jenner, she this again smells insanely like quote unquote white privilege. She can do whatever the fuck she wants and then just go, okay, now I want to do this, and then go here, and because she's Kendall Jenner, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. So I don't want to see Kendall Jenner just come and say, no, she's a rapper, like just like Paris Hilton said, okay, now I'm a DJ, and just do all the fucks because she can do it because she's white. I prefer someone putting his heart and soul into a craft because he believes he actually fucks with the genre than someone that's doing it because, hey, my sister is Kim Kardashian, and hey, you know what, I have strings in certain areas and thing, and I'm just going to do that because I don't believe she has any heart for the fucking craft of hip hop. She doesn't know the history of hip hop. She doesn't even. I bet you if you name 20 rappers that like influence the culture in the genre, you know,
a little bit there because I feel like you're going extra hard against the girl when she never said she's going to
no,
drop
but I mean,
a rap album.
Kendall
is going to start making music.
But if you gave me you gave me an ultimatum of which one is more relevant in hip hop and stuff like that, you know. So I'm just going into the like extreme reasons why if you give me that ultimatum, then okay, I'll fucking with 6ix9ine than Kylie Jenner because he's at least doing something with
It
heart
seems
and
authentic.
soul.
It
You know,
seems
yeah.
that there's some integrity. He believes what it is that he's saying. It seems like that's real.
Yeah, not just doing it for clicks, but yeah.
Have you watched any of his videos?
Yeah.
Like, no, not his like music videos, but his like online videos.
Yeah. I think he's legit. That's him. What you see on video, that's him. That's him. The way you see him, like, I legit believe that.
So, Kana, it seems as though you feel differently on this topic.
This man, me personally, okay, let me say this first. I am no way, shape, or form any expert on hip hop culture. I'm not that much of a big fan. I don't fuck with some of the biggest people like Jay-Z and them man who people find as gods. So my opinion might not have so much salt, right? But from what I do know, this man is part of the reason they fucking up the culture. He's part of the group that fucking up the hip hop culture. And why I say that is because I don't feel that he's legit. I feel that he's trolling everybody. And they have people and that whole gang thing is an is an unfortunate part of the hip hop culture that people take serious. And this man just trolling people on that fuck. And this man got other people following him like assholes. Kendall Jenner does not have a hip hop following like what Tekashi 6ix9ine has. So with that being said, if you there as a young man spreading this kind of dumb retarded rhetoric, whether you trolling or doing for clickbaits or not, they got people that are taking this shit serious. And then people got taking your voice serious as well. So you going out there spreading that false message and doing all this kind of grab. You getting people killed practically. Yes, you're not telling nobody could do it and follow your thing and stuff like that. But regardless, we know this man have a following. We know this man has an influence. And you know with that, if you, especially how he claiming, yeah, he's the best in this and that, king of hip hop, touch, all that kind of dumb fuck, then you know, you have an influence on people. And this is the type of shit you spreading. Yo, the OG's trying to get out the streets. The OG's trying to fucking tell the young ones, yo, don't mess with this. Do this, do that, check your school, check this, check that. And you got somebody young who tried to get you more into that. Yo, fuck this man, Jed.
Okay, I have a question there based on that point. How would you then feel about 50 Cent? The person,
That's
one of the people
him.
who seem
cool.
to be now standing next to him, they got a picture going around with
signed
him.
him.
And I see that picture as well.
Let's go back to the inception of 50. Is 50 not?
Yes, but
This
50
guy-
was doing this.
Look.
Yo, Tekashi 6ix9ine is a troll, dog. This man is a troll.
This
But
man
you don't-
living
but
that
you like-
lifestyle, Sean.
Who is the bigger
This
troll than
man
50?
living-
The reason I bring up
Okay,
50,
no.
the reason I bring up 50 is because the similarities are there, dog.
Yeah.
Because not only on the trolling part, because nobody to this day is probably a bigger troll like the man punking Floyd and stuff like that, but you can't read.
Yo,
nobody been
making jokes on somebody that making some
that's what
jokes.
he doing now.
That-
But how
back
did he
then-
got into the
back
game?
then, yeah.
He was
but-
beefing with everybody.
Yes,
dog.
but he was not. When it comes to
talking
that,
about he 9 shots,
It's
he a
true.
gangster.
Yo,
tough,
they went to
hard,
Ja Rule's
blah,
But
blah,
look,
blah, and
but look,
this.
is this okay? Yo, what are you saying is right
I'm
now?
asking this: do you feel the same way about 50 as you do?
No,
about
I
Tekashi?
don't.
Why
I
is
don't
it different
because
for 50 than Tekashi?
I feel that Tekashi don't live that life. I don't believe that. It's not from the little research that I have done. From the people that say they know him, from people that have been affiliated around him and all that kind of shit, to people that talk to him in interviews after they come on air. Legit, Charlemagne legit said verbatim when they finished the fucking interview, the man was like, yeah, that was all, I'm just trolling, man. That was all just for views and shit like that. But come honestly, the fuck on, man.
Honestly, I feel like Charlemagne would want to put that out there because Charlemagne got the donkey today in the interview. But then put Charlemagne in his place.
But then you choosing who to believe then. Because I look at that same interview and I don't find Tekashi move no other way than Charlemagne, with Charlemagne. People say that, yeah, Charlemagne body this man. I mean, Tekashi 6ix9ine run circles around this man, this and that. I don't find
control the interview.
Yeah.
He controlled the interview, but not answering half the questions.
The man answered every question.
I don't find so.
How many times have you watched the video?
I watched the video twice. I couldn't take that shit no more.
I watched it once the time when he was here, and then after that I went and watched the Joe Budden podcast, and then he was talking about it and stuff, and man was like, yo, when first time Tekashi 6ix9ine said like, yo, he gonna be the biggest thing in the world, I was like, this nigga crazy. And then when he went there, the next day he checked the videos, like it was on 4.0.
The man was right with that.
The interview, like it's gonna be the biggest interview ever and stuff.
It seemed like he would be right with that one.
And then the man was like, okay, you talking about the Birdman thing, and that was like 2-3 years ago and shit. Like that part of that thing, you could see that Tekashi got under the man's skin. The man, when Charlemagne started replying with them petty things going into the game, but you ain't done this and that, trying to throw it out. But okay, I got a book, I got this. Nobody gives a fuck what you doing, Charlemagne, interviewing about you, but you only stating all of those things, getting defensive because you feel as though the man.
I don't know. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way.
At a certain point, it wasn't even.
That's why Charlemagne come out and say, "Well, of course."
Anyway, shut up. This is not your time to speak. I was done. No, I was not. The king actually interrupted me.
Yeah, with a question.
Well,
so
my fault then.
Why is it different for fifth?
So
he says.
No, so I say I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I don't compare it to the same thing as Fifth. That, and to continue the original question, Kendall Jenner, it would just be like Kim Kardashian tried to come out with a song. If she tried to come out with hip hop, it depends on people to choose if they fuck with her or not. But nobody going to is Kendall Kardashian. Nobody is going to take her that serious in hip hop. So the fact that say that Kendall would be a worse influence on hip hop,
I wouldn't.
No, when I mean, I'm not saying she will not gonna have a following. No,
you could take Cardi B serious.
Yeah, but Cardi B have a different. You see, the things with hip hop is your background that says a lot with it. Let's be real with it. Cardi B have a different background than Kendall, so she would have more credibility, especially coming from the quote unquote streets and being from the strip club.
Did we accept Lil Dicky?
I know one song from this man.
Lil Dicky has been embraced and stuff like that, and I mean, I ain't trying to say he come from what a Kendall was, because I mean, we know the millions they sitting on is different to most people and shit. But this man ain't.
But I mean, I'm not saying
hip hop.
But you see, the thing is, I'm not saying
you went to college, you had a job, you was working in advertising, and then you just decide, okay, you know what? Now I feel like making hip hop is like my passion or whatever and thing like that.
But okay, cool. But Lil Dicky might be whatever, he might be accepted, but he does not have. He's not a Tekashi 6ix9ine have more thing than Lil Dicky.
Credibility,
even
street cred,
as is shameful. I mean, he and this man ain't even Lil Dicky ain't even the street, so we can't say street cred. But he has more of a following and influence. Let's put it out. He has more influence over hip hop than Lil Dicky.
You know the thing is, like, I always when I look at people talking, I try to look at like their surroundings. Like I really don't know for sure, 100% sure if this man did all the things he said he did or whatever.
I mean, we're gonna know nobody, even 50 Cent and T.I. and them, man.
But the thing is, like, when I look at certain cultures,
certain people you do know, because I mean, it came on the news that there was a body that dropped involved with
everything,
certain people and thing. I mean,
but the way I'm trying to get it, I always try when I hear someone talking, I always try to put myself like in their perspective. So if this, even though he made like wrong choices in life, I'm not trying to judge whatever this man did or how his man grew up and everything.
59 minutes, so the footage gonna cut out. I'm gonna start it back. Don't worry.
So where am I go? Yeah.
It's surroundings.
It's like I don't know how this man grew up. I don't know what led him to think a certain way, act a certain way, whatever. But if this man grew up in the United States with the gang culture that is very prevalent there. And if he was surrounded and grew up, I don't know if his mother or father was there all the time. I don't know. But if this is how this man was growing up, and this is the result of his surroundings, then you could say, okay, it's fucked up that this is all of the points that he has as a way to guide him forward. But at the same time, you can't then say, okay, this was everything that led him up to be this certain way, and it's not easy to then go and say, yo, you have to do this, and this. If the only thing he knows how to do led him to this point in his life.
I mean, that was brought up in the interview as well.
Yeah, you can't just you have to first find a way to communicate with him in a way that you don't then demonize him because this is all he knows. So you have to first find a way to communicate with him and then show him that the path that he's going to is not the right path, but then to turn around and say, yeah, you know what? Fuck how you grow up. Fuck everything about you. Fuck you. Like, what all you're doing is you're building his base. This is actually what he wants. But if you bring up good arguments and don't demonize the man, like these people then brought a fucking pastor for the man, dog.
Yeah,
why?
That was nonsense. That,
why?
Like,
all you're doing is just making more bullshit around this man.
Yeah, but I mean that's his job. They're trying to get views.
Yeah, but instead of you just having a normal conversation with the man, trying to understand certain aspects. Like the only part of the interview that I really found that was actually very informative was when they talked about like his rape allegations and things. Because there was a certain part that he was like really like, yeah, I was 19 at the time, 18. Like I did not know. Like it was legit. Like he opened up in that part because that was something that was really affecting him. But then afterwards, it all became a bunch of bullshit with altercations and accusing and this and that and this and that and this and that, instead of just having a normal conversation, treating the man as a normal human being. But yeah, I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how I would interview dude with big old 6ix9ine on his face. Like just looking at the appearance wise.
Yeah. But yeah,
they say don't judge a book by its cover, but books have covers for reasons. Because people look at the cover and judge the book based on the cover.
I wouldn't even not even that. That is what threw me off. Is how this man was answering the questions is what threw me off. From time how he was answering, I don't write him off. I sorry.
Yeah, but
I don't got that time and energy to be trying to show you how to think proper.
You remind me of Kodak Black a little bit. The Kodak Black interview that was on the Breakfast Club. I don't know if any of y'all did see that one. Where, like that was the most awkward interview. Like you could see that this man did not want to be interviewed, or at least that's the way his answers and stuff came off.
He didn't want to be there.
Like yeah, the man had the fucking ski mask on first of all.
Oh, that was Kodak.
Yeah.
Oh,
like that whole interview was just weird. But I don't know. Tekashi 6ix9ine, he seemed like an interesting person in my opinion, because like I heard the songs, and the thing is, I like the songs.
I don't know.
And that was like I heard the Gunmo one and like some other one I don't remember, and I was like, yo, it's a shame that he got these allegations and stuff out against him and thing, because I was like, this it sounded like things that I will listen to because I like Flocka, dog. Still to this day.
Hey, man, come to Amsterdam, no?
Yeah, but I'm not going to one of his shows. Like, I like Flocka's, like, you know what music Flocka makes. I'm like, what do you expect from a Flocka show? He gonna be on stage saying Flocka, Flocka, Flocka.
Yeah.
I'm not paying money to see that. No, but I love this man music because there's that raw energy in it. There's that hypeness. It something about that music. Like I've been loving Flocka since he come out, like mixtapes and stuff from Love Them Gun Sounds and stuff like that. Before Hard in the Paint, before Oh Let's Do It and stuff. The first time I heard Waka Flocka Flame, I thought it was a dancehall artist. I was very confused as to what Waka Flocka Flame. Like the first time I saw those words typed somewhere, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it even reminds me of an Elephant Man.
But you didn't get the Fozzy reference, the Waka Waka, no?
What?
Fozzy? You know that's okay.
No,
I'm lost.
Yeah, I lost too.
You never see the Fozzy chain from the Muppets that Waka have because there's the song Waka.
Never knew about that.
No, I was unaware. But
thank you for informing me about that.
like I always thought Flocka was a Pokemon. Like I remember I make that Facebook post a while ago. Like I realized that Waka Flocka is a Pokemon because ain't nobody to say their own name that much other than Pokemon.
I didn't know where he was going with it.
I mean, Pikachu, Waka Flocka. I mean, is there not a similarity, dog? Is there not a similarity?
Right.
But back to Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, I think that the music is interesting. There's that hype, there's that energy and stuff like that. It reminds me kind of like a cross between, I don't know if y'all familiar with Denzel Curry and Waka Flocka. Like, to me, I feel like that's kind of what he sound like. Cause, like, the flows is kind of, it's faster rapping. There's that aggression in it, like a Denzel Curry. If you ever listen to Denzel Curry, dude from Florida. And it just got a hypeness like a Waka. It ain't super lyrical and stuff. It got a aggression and thing, like kind of violent lyrics and whatnot. And yeah, I enjoy that type of music, even though it's completely like polar opposite to my personality, me being like a super chill person that ain't ever fighting nobody. But
And I just find this trash. That's just me.
I ain't gonna lie. Initially, I thought it was trash as well.
Well, okay, you know, I can't say that. Wait. Let me rephrase that. I can't say that. According to me, I don't remember actually listening to this man.
The internet tell me I'm supposed to hate him, so initially I did hate him. I ain't even gonna lie.
So
all the old heads supposedly saying Tekashi is like what you saying. He's part of the generation that ruining hip hop and thing. That's a lot of the popular rhetoric around him. A famous Dex, a Lil Yachty, a Uzi, all of them niggas. And it's like,
and who's that white boy that got sex on his face?
Oh. What?
The what? No.
It's something he got on his face.
Lil Xan, I think you're talking about. He got Z's on his under one of his eyebrows. I don't know about sex. I don't know who got sex on their face.
Why?
I
think I was like, wait, what is that a word, or did he legit have sex on his face? I was like confused for a second.
No, I think I was confusing two different stories. Because Young Thug changed his name to Sex, and then had his white boy with disease on his face.
Triple X Tentacion and whatnot.
You know the thing is, like, I recently I saw like a documentary about like or people were arguing about like how rappers are using this whole arpeggio-ish type of way to rap and whatever, like this whole melody, like
the triplet style.
You know, and like I was like, arpeggio, what the hell? Anyway, I just feel like this is a similar situation where there's like this new movement and thing, and people are just like jumping like, no, you have to hate this now. So I'm like, no, don't tell me what the fuck I have to hate.
I ain't gonna lie, I was on board with that hating all of these people trained for a while, and I still am to a good degree, because I ain't listening to I ain't not listening to Lil Yachty. I remember when Young Thug first came out with our lifestyle track and shit, people was saying it sound like dying cats and all kind of stuff. But I can't even lie. I like the track. Started enjoying Young Thug later in life because I had this one homie of mine who was always playing his music, and it's like I started to hear like one or two like, wait, that is a big tune from Young Thug.
The one with T.I. as well.
To me, about the money. Yeah. That was a great song. I was like, T.I. brought the quality of, he actually learned to say words and stuff on that song and speak English. But
not really. No. That one.
Listen, if you listen to About the Money, I know that was one of the reasons I liked it. The man said words on that song compared to like most of the shit that came up before that. It was a lot more
maybe
clearly pronounced and stuff like that than other stuff. It was a lot less mumbled.
But the thing I'm just trying to say is,
I'm not listening to Uzi Vert.
It just depends on the artist and the music. Like, I'm not gonna listen to all of them, because like it's the same with any type of music. I like rap. I don't listen to all rappers. So like it just depends on like if you're making one music that I like. If I like the music, I go fuck with you. And like 6ix9ine, you could hate the man, but I love the music. Like that's the same thing with Ja Rule. I hated Ja Rule.
That's what I want to.
I was more a 50 Cent guy, so it's like
I love
Ja Rule's music.
I have to separate the music from the music from the artist. So that's why I say I have to rephrase what I say. I can't say I can't say it's trash, because if he was referring to the music. According to me, I never hear a song from this man. So I can't say his music is trash. But his attitude and the way he'll bring about his shit is trash. And that's why I don't fuck with him. Him specifically. I can't say about the others.
Because I don't know controversy.
I don't know about the others.
Speaking
of controversy.
With the segues.
Since we saw the Heineken commercial and stuff like that before the podcast, I mean, I feel like that's the last topic we got to touch on before we get there, you know?
I to be quite honest, I don't see the problem.
No, well, I mean, if you're starting off a video with selling someone a Heineken, and then you showing it to the person you're selling it to, and then you're showing a bunch of black people, and at the end you see a white person, and then it's light Heineken.
So sometimes light is better. Sometimes lighter is better on the end. That was the ending slogan.
I can't defend that, no. Because, like, the video is showing, like, sometimes lighter is better. You could have... Why you need to show a bunch of black people in between the person throwing the Heineken and then the person receiving the Heineken, and then it's a white person? That is... Like, what else are you trying to project?
See, that's the funny thing about this whole thing. I see that completely different. I listen to the music, and I was like, okay, cool. They're trying to have a Caribbean team. So that's why they have like the man there with the old man there playing the instruments and stuff like that. Like you would see by normal Caribbean, like traditional Caribbean events, outing events. So I didn't see as racist. But then I could see where the whole lighter is better. That could have maybe been like,
I feel like racist is the wrong word because the chick at the end was not white. She was a light-skinned chick. So
and she was like, she look Asian.
It's a colorist issue more than anything.
But the thing is, like, but I mean, they could have represented in a whole bunch of different ways.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just saying, like the way, like,
look,
when you're filming something, the imagery you're trying to portray, you need to be sure that what you're doing
and then you need to keep that same energy you had before. If I would say people too sensitive, I find this is a too sensitive issue as well. There's no plain blatant racism in that thing. Like, is
the whole thing where this stemmed from is from Chan's tweet, and I agree with exactly what Chance was saying. I don't have the tweet here to read exactly, but the main sentiment of what the man was saying was like, this was shit that I said before with the H&M, with the Pepsi. How many times have we seen this tactic? They know what the fuck they doing.
Sometimes lighter is better.
They know what they doing.
Saw the video and said like that's like even finishing with that.
It may not be intentional. Okay, we trying to be racist.
No.
This is controversial. We know this is gonna cause outrage.
In the day and age, that I can't big up for. That I can't back up.
Angles and stuff like that. They made sure here you see dark skinned person. Here you see dark skinned person. Here's another dark skinned person. And sometimes lighter is better.
Yeah.
You cannot put these things in that, like the angles and stuff that they choose. They make sure that you see we highlighting this black person as the beard slides down this table to get to the end. Like, they know what they was doing.
Yeah, but again, to me, how I see it, that was
not necessarily racist.
That was kind of bigging up the culture and going with the team. That's how I was seeing it. But as like I was saying before, I hear the music first, and then match the imagery with the music. So to me, they was kind of trying to blend it together. But that's how I had seen it.
I got the same vibe too. But like, if you just cut out the ending,
just the phrase. If you just didn't take out that phrase, it'd have been a normal commercial.
No, if
it would have been a normal commercial, dog.
But it's still the image. It's still the imagery.
To me, this is exactly what was on whatchamacallit. I don't know if y'all watch Blackish, but this specific type of scenario was handled on Blackish before, where Andre he works at an advertising company on Blackish. If you watch it, and he had an episode. It was an episode with Chris Brown was on it, and they was doing something. Put some Uvo on it or something. Uvo was the name of some drink they was promoting, and they had to come up with an ad for it or whatever. Chris Brown was in the episode, and one of the things they did in the episode was like, they're trying to show the point that Uvo makes it better. So it's like, this is bad, put some Uvo on it, and then like it would make the situation better or whatever. That was the kind of idea that they was going for in the commercial. But one of the things that they did was just like that, where they had a dark-skinned woman who was supposed to be the ratchet chick or whatever. You put some Uvo on it, and she turned into a light-skinned or white woman or whatever, and things like that. And then
why they just don't use the same chick, just combed and present it nicely?
And then it was brought to Rainbow, his wife, and who told him was like, yo, you don't see the problems with this and stuff. Like Andre, which is, what's this dude name? Anthony Anderson, his character. He was like, yo, this is a dope commercial and stuff like that. And like, he himself didn't necessarily see the same thing. But Rainbow was like, yo, hold on. Like, you as a black person don't see the problem with there was a black person and now this person is like the same
Only-
concept. Like the white is pure, or the white is purity. Like Dove from a couple years ago, it's all the same shit. Dog.
That
That's
was
why
a
for me
tense.
to-
The Dove one was a tense one. But I tell you, if they took out the whole light, if they just took out that phrase, the commercial would have been normal.
But they didn't.
They didn't. I mean, they put it in. So that, like, you
They know they wanted to drive home that point.
yeah, like
That's
yeah,
why
but
they showed it.
that,
can't-
but as-
it's like the beginning and the end. Like you can't say the movie was really good movie, but the ending was the worst ending I've ever seen in my life.
You could actually say
I've
that.
seen people.
No,
say,
I mean
know,
you can't say the movie as a whole is good.
I know people
But-
have said that about like series and stuff. I mean, not necessarily a movie, but like series.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, How I Met Your Mother was great, but the ending was
Yeah,
nonsense.
but I mean a movie is different than a series.
I don't-
But what the whole argument is, like, there's a beginning and an end, and the beginning and the end says a story in its completion. You cannot just see the beginning and then without knowing the ending know about the whole context. So the whole context of this commercial is the beginning, the middle was good, but at the end got fucking racist. That like
But again,
you
but-
can't take out, you can't
But
just say
again, like King said, it's not racist. It's colorism.
isn't colorism like aren't we tending
it
giving
stems from white supremacy. We're
Yeah.
just using the proper names to describe
Can-
things because colorism refers to light skin, black skin, light skin versus team dark skin, that type of nonsense thinking. How slave versus field slave, all of those type of characters.
still
Ways like
racist.
why is this good here versus like no.
no.
I mean, why?
Because that's legit amongst yourselves.
But I mean,
It stems
Isn't-
from
isn't
white
them-
supremacy
yeah, isn't
and
them-
racist
they didn't-
ideologies.
yeah.
Yes, it stems from that. But colorism and racism are two different things.
Yeah, okay,
what
okay,
Amara
okay,
La
okay,
Negra
yeah,
is
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, where people don't understand Afro-Latinas and all of them.
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah.
That's
things.
colorism.
She's talking about colorism.
I feel.
Yeah.
But in
On
this,
St. Martin,
but
we got
in,
colorism heavy. Racism ain't really a
but
a
in
thing
this,
like that
in
because
this, in this specific segment, right? If you have like a majority of white people probably even made this
How long are we
commercial.
going for?
116.
Okay.
If I'm assuming a bunch of white people made this fucking commercial, right? Planned this
be.
whole, like
We don't know, but I assume yeah.
I'm assuming, like if they're setting this narrative, then isn't that narrative coming from a racist perspective?
It's difficult to say because,
Yeah, that's because we don't know the
But yeah,
mentality.
I'm just giving you like
Yeah, but
the
see,
options
that's the
that
thing.
might-
It don't necessarily have to be so. It could legit have been that they was legit trying to talk about the bill. They just choose the wrong wording.
boy.
It could be.
Yeah,
It could
but
be
I am
the same
not, I
way.
am not giving them a scapegoat for that fuck.
I don't know. I agree, especially in this time and I guess we could say political climate.
most white people seem to say that black people chants were just reaching and ain't nothing racist about it. It's about the beer. Like you just making it racist.
No,
that's like a lot of the comments that
I
I've seen.
see,
Like how I
like-
feel about it.
Like if there's a hard right, I'm sorry, I'm going hard left on this. Like I'm not giving people any more excuses or any more leeway with this fuck. They need to learn that this fuck is not acceptable anymore, dog. And I'm not giving people like the chance to even giving them like a counter argument to this, because if you give them more leeway, they're gonna go more brazen and go more
Question.
farther with this fuck.
Answer.
we boycotting Heineken.
Nope. I'll tell you straight up, nope.
How do you feel about that one?
Why, knowing me, I might.
Honestly,
I might as
it
well.
was something that
Knowing me-
I was thinking about. I really was thinking about it.
I already
But
boycott
then
Facebook anyway. So
I got into this little issue where it's like, but I like Desperados though.
yeah, they own a lot of beers.
Yeah.
So
like,
how much
that was my thing. I
how
like
much is-
Desperado.
Look,
like the
how much
only
is your
beer
black
that I
card
don't
worth?
drink
Bye.
Look.
is Desperado. So I'm like,
For me, it's
How much
like
is your
it's-
black card worth?
Hey, I could. First of all, I don't drink a bunch of Heineken. If I buy beer, usually I drink Weizen beer. So that's just
Never heard
just
of that. Okay.
Weizen is German beer. So usually when I drink beer, I drink that. Heineken's
it.
Heineken's usually does not touch my lips. It only occasionally does. So for me, that's not really even an issue. If I have to boycott Heineken, I
there's
don't
more
drink.
than there's more than enough beer brands
Yeah.
out there. I mean, honestly, like if you were to boycott Heineken,
You're
it's
not-
not
you're
that
gonna-
hard. Go
yeah.
going back to Martin, okay, you could drink Presidente, you could drink Corona, you could Carib. So I don't know if all of them ain't owned by Heineken. I'm sure a good bit of them probably some of the competing beers.
The beers that are owned by Heineken is Amstel, Heineken obviously,
I didn't know
Desperados.
they own Amstel as well.
Yeah,
True,
they own
that
Amstel.
makes sense.
I'd rather drink a Magnum, but you know we don't have that. Up here.
Jules,
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah. Those types of beers. But look, that's not the argument. Like, first of all, Heineken is such a big company. First of all, but I need more context to this, because the ones in H&M, we know for a fact that she was in a boardroom, dog. I just need
My
to know.
thing is,
I just need to
H&M
know.
fucked up twice. That I can remember within like a span of 3 years. So H&M done cross on me. Like that's no,
After the first
one, I was like,
we
okay,
could, yeah.
I gave y'all a little chance.
Like
and fucked up
your
again.
antenna is
It's
now.
like, nah.
And I'm sure if you go back,
I'm sure the Heineken probably did. I'm
has
sure
more
probably.
controversial videos. I ain't even gonna doubt that.
Yeah, but controversial and racial is two different
Yeah,
things.
I mean,
so.
controversial is not racism.
Oh.
But yeah,
I don't
just need to see. Like, this video, for me, clearly, like, at least the statement that they made, first of all, was way better than the statement that H&M put out after that fuck. But again, I ain't giving them any leeway with that. It was wrong, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired. Dog. I'm just tired that we still need to have this type of conversations.
Something like the something like the Heineken. I understand with me with that, but I find the Heineken one is something that if they take it back and apologize, I'd be like, alright, cool. Which, if I'm mistaken, they did. It was like, yeah, it was not.
I don't remember the exact words of the apology, but yeah,
it was along the lines, because I see it too on Twitter. It was along the lines of it was not our intention to be racist.
We'll take the feedback into consideration.
Yeah, and then we did. They take the video down. So that could legit be like, all right, yo, for me personally, that's enough, because it showed that all right, cool. Maybe you wasn't going for the thing, but you see that how it was a wrong something, and you take down the commercial. You make a whole big thing about how you protecting this and it wasn't that, and you sticking by your things and all that. They say, yo, we messed up. Cool. H&M was a different story.
Look, but the thing is, like, I'm that's a good thing. But again, I am not going to give people, like, if it's wrong, I'm going to out my opinion. I'm not going to give.
No, but it's wrong. You know? But I mean, like it's not something to boycott. This commercial, this one specifically, I don't find is boycott material enough. It's enough of material to boycott. That's just me personally.
Honestly, I know how I feel about that, because I really don't know. I really don't know.
I don't find it's enough, especially how they handle it after. Because dog,
I understand where you're coming from.
At the end of the day, okay, cool. These marketeers are supposed to be professionals. They're supposed to be trained. They're supposed to have like a shitload of experience. But at the end of the day, the man's still human. Cool, it's a bunch of white humans in a room who probably should know better, and they probably should have a little bit diversity here and there to be able to make these decisions, so they don't end up in these situations. That they should learn from. Cool. But I mean, that could be interpreted in many different ways. Because look how you see it one time as like, that's racist. And me, I was like,
like, I didn't see that racism until the end.
You see?
But I
mean, the end is what tie it up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I didn't go in there expecting to see racism, but racism found me at the end. That's what I'm trying. There was nobody goes to look at a video and expect, like, if someone like blatantly tells you from the beginning, yo, you're gonna see some racism here, boy.
Well, I mean, we kind of was the reason why we watched the video.
He told us there was controversy, but I didn't know what the controversy was about until I saw the video.
Okay, well, I knew it was about to be.
It could have been like some like the whole Kylie Jenner thing with Pepsi. That also was a controversy.
Yeah, that was just bad marketing.
You feel that was more offensive than this one, the Pepsi commercial?
What else about specifically again?
It was regarding police brutality, and the main thing was like, oh, here's a Pepsi, then this is what is going to cause the peace and thing. And to me, I feel like
offensive.
This shit to me is more of like the Pepsi
offensive
commercial was just like, okay,
that just missed the mark.
Like,
that wasn't offensive.
Yeah, that's
but
how it was.
This is potentially offensive. The Pepsi commercial was like, yo, y'all just ignorant.
like a Pepsi, the world peace,
that
and a like, come on,
That gonna change all your racial problems.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
We
gonna
just
get
drink
the black
Pepsi
people
together.
not gonna get shoot by police in the States.
Just drink a
Heineken?
Pepsi.
I trying to think. No, I think it was Heineken itself that had a really good campaign that was not too long after the Pepsi one, where it was like, yo, yeah, it was Heineken if I'm not mistaken, where the whole concept of it was like, we get people together if you're a racist or whatever supposedly and stuff, and you're conservative or whatever, and then we have a lesbian here or something like that, people who supposedly would be like opposing parties or whatever, we put them in a room together. They don't know exactly how they identify, but then there was the beer there or something to start. I think it was like they just had the conversation and they had certain questions, and then later they was revealed like, okay, what is the label or whatever this person identifies as, and then it was like, okay, if you want, you can choose to drink the beer and have the conversation and like see if you still feel the same way about this person. Now you know like who they is supposedly or whatever. It was like a really, really interesting, dope, more nuanced approach to actually come into a sensible kind of way to approach race relations and stuff like that, compared to the how Pepsi wants. And now it just got me thinking, like, how y'all come from that to this?
But again,
If it was Heineken, I know it was a beer commercial. I
Yo,
don't remember. if
maybe it was different,
I think
but
it was
maybe
Heineken.
it was different people. Eh?
the thing is, like,
It probably
you have to
was
keep in mind,
different people.
Heineken is like the biggest
It's a
beer.
huge company. I know
And-
there's like
Yeah,
not
Heineken,
Heineken themselves
Europe,
making-
Heineken
they-
America, Heineken
So
this, Heineken that.
there's different branches,
And they just
with-
pitch it to an ad agency and stuff. And
Exactly.
who knows what ad agency handled this one compared to the other one and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I get all of that.
But someone still needs to.
Who was in Heineken looking over advertisement?
Yeah.
Like who
And then
was
who said, okay, let's improve this?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, my whole thing is, look, if you see racism, just point it out. Don't like
But if you
feel,
point out racism, you are the racist. That's what they say nowadays.
Yeah, I don't
because
care.
you're making everything you seeing the race. You're the problem. That's what they've been telling Sylvana Simmons. She's the racist
Yeah.
for pointing out racism.
I
The
don't
craziest logic in the world.
I don't
But-
care with those people. No, those people don't. I don't give them any time of day, dog. If I see some injustice, I don't care if you're black, Chinese, the races.
Is there any time racist is approved?
Like,
Right, there was-
how you bringing up an interesting
Right.
topic? I want to go beyond 126, so I feel like we need to be wrapping up. But I don't know if y'all want to go on a little longer.
Let's keep this for next week.
Okay,
For-
then.
yeah.
Yes.
If y'all want to go
This
on,
is there
this
ever-
topic is going to be an hour. dog.
Is there ever a time where racism is okay?
Bye.
But that's next week's topic. Okay, then. So I think with that, we should start wrapping up, Kana.
But yeah, again, like always, even though, last week Woods had us a little bit, frustrated with his fuckery.
Hey.
Our outro message
Yeah.
last week was not.
Like always, if you have anybody you want us to interview, or you want us to have on the show itself, let us know. If you have any specific topics you would like us to talk about or want to hear our views about, let us know as well. I used to always say, I never really was one for giving out my personal
The
social
IGs
media,
and
but
things,
I doing this. I mean, I kind of should. So if you do want to check me, is Mr_Labega LABEGA. Yeah, and
And if you want to look at me,
why
the
you
social
got to
media.
make things so creepy, dog?
Look at you.
if you want to look
Jesus
at me
Christ.
on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram, it's Bizarre Mental. On YouTube as well, it's Bizarre Mental. All I'm gonna say is, hey, just if you came from the podcast to the socials, just hit me out in my DM. Say, hey, I saw your video. I would appreciate that a lot. And if you want to give us some pointers too, that would also be very much appreciated.
Yeah, suggestions, comments, whatever feedback the audience may have, that's always welcome. And with that, I believe we'll see you the next time we link up.
Bless.